let me tell you how my uh, so when I do a show, when people want to book me for a show, the first thing they have to do before it appears on my planning, it appears anywhere, on my Spotify profile, on Kaysha.com, etc., etc. The first thing you have to do is pay me 50%. Why? So that I don't book a date and block a date, then I cannot sell anymore to anybody else. And then at the last minute or a week before or 4 days before, you just tell me that, oh, you cannot do the show for whatever reason. We went through this enough in my career that at a point we were like, nah, listen, I don't care if you are my brother, my best friend. If you want to book a show, it's very simple. You pay 50% of the price. And so if you cancel, I keep my money. Now, if you cancel like 2 days before the show, and so you didn't give me the chance to book another date, right, in place of your show, I will just keep your 50%. And if you want to book another show, you will need to pay me again. Now, if you give me enough time, like 2 weeks, a week, 10 days, whatever, and you say, oh, listen, for whatever reason, we have to rebook on another date, it's okay. You paid 50% and you have 6 months to choose another date. And then before I come to the show in the new date, you'll give me the other 50%. And if it's in another country, you will pay me before I take the plane. So I don't just go there to have conversations with you. I'm not interested in a negotiation. You know, people love to have last minute negotiation in the hotel room just before the show, and then they try to convince you that, oh, you have to go, your fans are waiting, oh my God, blah 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 blah, and you're like, I'm going back to my room. So as I learned, you know, as I went through the motions of performing, dealing with promoters, etc., I learned to place all these things and to not be emotional about the shows. Even if the fans are waiting and I haven't been paid, you will not pressure me into, oh, the fans are waiting. I don't care. If you don't pay me, it's your fault that the fans are waiting. It's not my fault. So a lot of people, they get emotional with these things. And I was like this too when I was younger. I was like, oh, the fans are waiting. Oh my God. Okay, let's do it. And then they say, don't worry. Soon as the show is over, I'll pay you. Of course, soon as the show is over, they disappear, or they invent something, or they say, oh, you know, we had a problem, or somebody stole the money, whatever. They will find a trick to not pay you. So, bless up, MJ. So you start understanding that in reality, you really need to take care of your business and to protect your side. And it's not just for shows, it's for anything where you have to do a work, even beat making, performing on a song, or anything that somebody has to pay me before I start. I need 50%. And same thing, when I hire somebody to do a job, a beat or whatever, somebody who, either depending on the business we work, if we decide that you want X amount for the work, I'll pay you 50% before you start working, so that if you don't do what you're supposed to do after a certain point, I can start pressuring you. And because you want your 50%, the rest of the money, you work and deliver me on time. So this takes us to the first of the year. Listen. So first of the year, listen, the 31st was crazy. 31st, partying, everybody at the house, family, kids. I think I went to sleep at 7 a.m. Everybody woke up in the house around 11, 12. So I was really tired. Kids, we were there, we ate, everything. Wife and sister-in-law were completely tired. But okay, we're chilling. Midnight and a half, I start Club Shada last week. And during the show, I was super tired. I don't know if it was visible, but I was really feeling like something here. Like I knew I was tired, and I knew I needed to sleep at least 1 hour before going to the show. Because if not, that would have been horrible. So I'm here. So I think we started Club Shada at midnight and a half, and we were done at 2 a.m. this time, Portuguese time. The show was at 4 a.m. and no, I think I finished around 1:45 a.m. I don't remember. Anyway, I didn't do a long show. Now, just after the show, I upload the episode to Spotify and the podcast. So, because you can also check this show out on Spotify and all the podcast platforms in audio. So, soon as I finish the show, I upload the file straight to those platforms. Now, I'm here and I'm really feeling tired. Now I'm really feeling like the whole New Year Eve celebration aftermath. I'm so tired. But I still have to prepare the show. So all my show are already prepared. I have a lot of mega mixes, medley of all my hits that are already in place in my folders. So sometimes I just send a link to the DJ so that they already have the show, and when I come, they just have downloaded it. But in any case, I always have my I don't know what it is. I always have a USB pen drive, one of my USB pen drive ready with some songs and the show. And I was not finding that drive. And I was like, okay, listen, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's how I'm gonna plan the thing. I'm gonna prepare my show, put everything in a pen, have my clothes, everything ready. Then I'm gonna go on the sofa and I'm gonna sleep for at least 1 hour. And because I could not find a pen drive, I had to then go and look in my all my stuff, find a pen drive. Once I found one, I had to clean it, then copy the show in it, then put everything in my pants, and then have everything ready. Then I put TV and I try to sleep, and I don't know, I didn't really sleep well. Around 2:30, I finally start getting asleep. And I really didn't want to go perform at all. I was like, listen, even when those guys booked the show, I said to myself, what's the point of booking a show on the 1st of January? When the party is on the 31st, it made no sense to me. But they were like, no, we're doing a big 3 days party. I was like, okay, listen, it's up to you. All I know is that if I have to perform on the 31st, you have to pay 3 times the price. So, of course, they preferred, everybody's scared of booking me on the 31st or on the 24th, because of course it's more expensive. So they're like, no, we want you on the 1st. But I was like, people are gonna be tired. Nah, don't worry, we got this. You got this? Okay, cool, no problem. Pay me my 50%. They pay the 50%. Okay, I'm cool. Now, took the 50%, bought some Christmas present, put them under the tree. We good. Now, The whole New Year's Eve, the day was amazing. The Not only the day was amazing, but the time was amazing. It was 18 degrees Celsius all night, so super warm, great weather. It rained for 4 days before, and the day of New Year's Eve, it was not raining. But the day of the show, on the 1st of January, it started raining early in the morning, and it rained all day. And it probably stopped raining around 8 p.m. Then it rained again at 10 p.m. and then it stopped raining around 1 a.m. I was like, oh, listen, from my experience, every time I have a show and there is a lot of rain that day, there's a 50% chance that most people will not go to the show, or half of the people will not go, because when it's raining, people don't want to drive, people don't want to go get out the house, take the subway, whatever is the reason. When there's rain, people tend to want to stay at home. Now, the whole day I was like, wait a minute, yesterday was New Year's Eve. People probably got drunk, spent the whole night partying, celebrating the new year. Everybody stayed sleeping until I don't know what time. Then it was raining, so everybody stayed in bed, and everybody's probably feeling like me, which is I was on my sofa. I have my pillow when I want to sleep in the living room. I have my pillow. I got my I have my whole thing there, super comfortable. I was just there, and I was like, I just want to stay there. I don't want to go. I don't want to go perform. Just want to, and until when it was like, sometimes you can't sleep because whatever is the stress. But when the sleep is starting to find you, it's so good. And then by 3, I know before going to sleep, I just told Siri to put my alarm at 2:50. And listen, when I heard my alarm, I was in despair because I was just entering deep sleep after 20 minutes. And then Siri wakes me up. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, how long till this guy come pick me up? So I'm waiting for DJ Beleza to come pick me up. And he told me 3 a.m. at your house. So it's like 2:55, and I'm just like this, like, and I have my eyes closed, but I'm awake, and I'm just like, I have to put my pants, I have to go put my shirt, and then be ready for the show, put some oil on my bird, pick my glasses, let's go, and then pick a towel for the sweat and one of these sushi roll hoodies for after the show. So I'm just ready to jump out the sofa and move and just go down and go to the show, maybe sleep a little more in the car, and after that do my show half an hour, then come back home. But listen, I don't want to go. All I want is to sleep, because I'm just like everybody else. I'm tired, and in my opinion, I'm like, who's partying today? And I get a phone call at 3:05 from my booking agent, DJ Beleza, telling me, and I'm like, yo, and he's like, I was thinking he would tell me, oh, I'm downstairs. He tells me, hey, there's only 10 people at the party. And I'm like, word. But in my head, I'm like, thank God. So I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, they are asking us if you don't mind postponing the show to another one of their parties, like in the later date, in a month or two or whatever, Valentine's Day, something else. They're asking if you agree to them do the show another night without losing their 50%, their deposit. I told him, yeah, no problem, all good, fine for me. And he's like, oh, I was already on the car coming to get you, and they called me. And I was like, I'm in my bed, bro, and I'm very happy about this news. He's like, oh, you're not upset? I'm like, no, not at all. Listen, this is so cool when instead of surviving from shows become extra money. This is so cool because listen, it's not that I'm not gonna say I don't want to take that money, because I take it, of course. But the great thing is I don't need it. If I had it, listen, I would buy some presents. Like my son's birthday is coming, my wife's birthday. My wife's birthday is in the 15th, so it's in 10 days, and my son's birthday is on the 17th. So both are following each other. Listen, I would just take my cachet, divide it in two, and buy both of them a present. Perfect. But listen, I have some economy, I'm good. So it was not a question of money. Even if I really had to go, I would have stand up, put myself on autopilot, sleep in the car, arrive there, perform for 30 minutes, do some photos, go back to sleep. But the way I was comfortable in my sofa and I was under my sheets while I was talking to him, he said, okay, I'm going back to bed. And I was like, yeah, we talk tomorrow. Also, what do I tell them? I said, yeah, tell them that they have 6 months to, as the contract says. He's like, okay, so we talk tomorrow. I'm like, peace. And I was like, oh yes. And I went to bed. I slept like a baby. Listen, I slept like a baby. I don't even remember what time I woke up. I think I woke up at 1 p.m. When my wife arrived my daughter came. I woke up, my daughter was on top of me, playing her PlayStation, with her iPad or watching her iPad. She was on top of me, and my wife was like, "You still sleeping?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, you must be tired from the show." I was like, "What show?" "Your show yesterday." I was like, "There was no show." "Yeah." I was like, Oh, she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So yeah, there was only 10 people. Makes no sense. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Nah, don't be. Listen, cool." And it's not like it's not gonna be a show. It's gonna be later on. So, and I was like, and I was like, listen, it made no sense. A party on the 1st of January anyway, on a Sunday and on a rainy day. And she was like, yeah, that's true. And I was like, yeah, well, all good. Listen. So yeah, that was how I started the week. So it's not that I didn't start the year making money, because I still got paid 50%. I mean, I got paid 50% in advance. So I had it already. But yeah, So this show probably will be, I don't know when they decide to do one, when they're ready to do another party. So I don't know. I don't even know how their party went. So because it was like a 3-day extravaganza. So I know they had a party on the 30th, another on the 31st, and then another one on the 1st. So I don't know how the other two went. Probably the one on the 31st was probably full of people. I don't know. Listen, I have no idea. All I know is the club was 30 minutes away from my house. So it's not like you had, you hate this type of thing when you had to take a plane, travel like across the globe and be in those situations. But when it's a situation like this, and you are actually in your bed, and it's all good because the show is like 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away, it's all good. Like, you're like, yeah, bro, I was so tired. You have no idea. It is what it is.